That's the kind of entrance we're used to, right?
Just a single droning note.
It's like definitely like doom metal sludge stuff.
I fucking really like this. This is
1968 is the name of the band.
Yeah, you just stumbled on this.
Just
now.
It's a new release today. Ballads of the Godless. We'll get more to that later, but yeah, if that's you kind of that heavy, weird droning. I don't know. If you didn't think Black Sabbath went far enough, that's probably your project right there. But nonetheless, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast time. One of us is back on the carb wagon again, as of about an hour and a half ago.
And one of us is still driving the cart.
Well, I have to go on that diet every once in a while. It kind of fucking tends to help me out in a lot of medical ways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was aiming for 32 days. I think I got through like 26, 27, so.
That's still pretty good. I mean, you made it through, was like the biggest barbecue holiday of the year.
Yeah.
Without too much goddamn trouble.
The problem was I forgot to calculate in for International Fight Week. And as you know,
yes.
if it's going to be a big MMA card, I'm going to be cooking a lot of food.
Right.
And, man, I could cook a lot of keto-friendly shit, but what favors am I doing for any of my friends? So.
Hey, that chili you make's pretty good, and that fucking...
it's okay.
It's pretty good. I like it because it's just basically like meat, sauce, and beans and shit.
There's no beans in it.
Oh, what are the little...
That's actually
like ham or something?
No, it's pieces of meat that are diced small. So you get like 2 pounds of like steak, basically, and you grind 1 pound, and then you dice the other pound.
Oh, okay.
And so it gives a texture where you think it's beans. But yeah.
Wow, shit. What about the shit you make with the spinach in the casserole dish?
I don't know. I do a lot of shit
like
with spinach.
Like a lasagna or something?
I don't know. I probably tried to do a zucchini one before like that. But
it was like it was oily. I mean, like super high in fat.
Yeah.
But it was fucking delicious.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what the keto diet thrives on is a whole lot of fat, a little bit of protein, and virtually no carbs. That's what you aim for. So, yeah. But yeah, so it's time for me to peel off of that again. I'll probably go back on after we get back from Alice in Chains in September. So in order to treat myself, I decided to pick up a little Budweiser Freedom Reserve Red Lager. First of all, I wasn't sure what Red Lager was. Apparently, George Washington, they like stole a recipe off him or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
Lifted it off his person.
But I don't know. It's not terrible. It's all right.
Yeah, it'll do.
It'll do, pig. It'll do. Nonetheless, though, we get together once a week, do our talking around about 3 different subjects and a whole lot of other shit, Mead, Metal, and MMA. Sure to be our shortest podcast of the year.
Yes. We should be done in probably about 20 minutes.
Because... well, there's fights on right now, and we can talk to you people, and I mean that in the H. Ross Perot way. No, but we can hang out and talk to you folks, or we can be watching fights. And frankly, I mean, presented with those, and I'm not talking like Bellator bullshit on a Friday either.
No, we are talking Ultimate Fighter from the Palms. That's kind of weird. It's also weird that I'm here. I should be there. I was there last year. God damn it!
Isn't this like your normal time to be in Vegas?
I wanted to make it an annual thing. I'm really glad I didn't this year, just based off strength of quality of card.
I thought the quality of card was great up until about 48 hours ago.
Yeah. Well, the fucking same thing happened when I was there last year, and well, we'll get into that later.
The curse of International Fight Week continues. They talk about the Sports Illustrated curse or the Madden curse. Fuck that. International Fight Week, you have that. 1 or 2 main events on a card are going to fall off.
Yeah. I mean, the Madden curse only affects one person.
Right.
These Fight Week fuck-ups just affect everything.
Well,
affects the money everyone's going to make.
The UFC could have done some things to prevent it, but again, we'll get into that later. Later, perhaps. So how you doing this week? It's Friday. We're celebrating our first Friday of the month of July.
Yeah. I hope your Freedom Day was good to you.
Yeah, nothing but explosives and bad decisions. That's
yeah. That sounds like a way to bring in the freedom. Oh man.
But 4th of July came and went without my notice because, frankly, I have a day job and I felt like hammered dog shit Wednesday. So.
Yeah, It was one of the first 4th of Julys in a very long time where I didn't have to work. I just didn't have it in me. I mean, I popped off some fucking artillery shells.
Which are not legal, but yeah. That's
Well, I mean, Roman candles, that's what I initially wanted was Roman candles. But they're like, oh, man, we can't sell them. They're illegal. It's like, okay, cool. Give me a half dozen of the artillery shells then.
Yeah.
Does that make any fucking sense?
It really doesn't, because if you ever watched the movie Fandango, or if you lived life as a kid and you're running around with Roman candles shooting them at your friends,
good times.
that shit's it's okay. Nobody's going to go to the hospital. You fire fucking artillery shells at your friends. Well, somebody's going to end the night in the ER.
Yeah. I had initially, when I was shooting them off, I have this fucking metal shop. Well, no. It's a metal shop, but it's a shop made of metal.
Yeah, that's we're bringing it back.
And I set them off kind of like right there because I have that cleachy kind of driveway thing.
Yeah.
And the wind was blowing a little bit, but not enough to really worry about maybe setting anything on fire. But the goddamn concussive sound, it hits the shop and then fucking comes right back. It's like you get it twice. And it was disturbingly loud. Either that or I'm just getting old. I mean, I hadn't shot at fireworks in like 15 years.
Been yelling at anybody get off your lawn? Because, I mean, that might be an indicator. It's,
all I say is I don't give a shit what you do. Just don't do it in my living room.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but nonetheless, though, hopefully all of you came out of the 4th of July holiday with all fingers intact and hearing.
Unlike Jason Pierre-Paul.
Who?
That New York Giant who blew his finger off. That defensive back.
A couple years ago, right?
Yeah. Still playing.
Yeah, just...
caught an interception, I think, once since that happened.
Did somebody throw a spiral perfectly into his face mask?
Just fucking running.
Shit. So anyway, but it does beg the question, though, how's your week?
That rye is not that good.
You drinking the Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start with how's my week. I started with that shit on a Tuesday. Now, you have to also remember, keto diet, I could never figure out why I was getting so fucked up so easily on just very little booze. I thought, well, I've got obviously nothing protecting my liver. It's going straight there, hitting that, kicking its ass, and then wandering on out.
Getting in the blood, getting ready to roll.
Well, most estimates put it at somewhere in the ballpark of 3 to 3.5 shots is the equivalent to one shot when you're on this diet.
Is that the same with, like, beer? Well, I mean, clearly you can't be drinking beer. But.
No, that's not a comparison that you're allowed because beer's got carbs in it. So that means the other night when I had like 6, maybe 7 shots, probably 6 or 7, I don't know. I was in the ballpark. I was in the realm of a little over 20-plus shots.
You basically drank a bottle.
Which explains a whole lot of things. Yeah, which explains a lot about why I felt like hammered shit on Wednesday.
Damn.
Had to pay for it. Yeah, and then the liver's where the ketones also come from. So if you go and wreck that thing the night before, then the next day you're not able to metabolize anything.
Golly.
No energy, no nothing.
Tough to like really burn the earth when you're in ketosis.
Well, and that's the whole thing. That's the point is that, and I was a good boy for about, 19, 20 days, something like that. And then I went and wrecked that shit. Well, last weekend I didn't wreck it, but God damn it, I certainly did on Tuesday.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that's why you're starting to drink today so you can enjoy yourself tomorrow.
Well, that's the thing is because I'm throwing together a whole lot of food that's Chicago-centric. Usually if there's an event, I try not to base it wherever the city's at because I think that's kind of lame. That's next to cosplay.
But what's Vegas-style food? It's anything.
Yeah, well, if I was trying to do some shit like that, I'd throw on a huge weird buffet of a whole lot of weird, odd things that don't belong together.
Yeah, like fucking just anything.
Here's some mac and cheese. Here's some eggs.
Mac and cheese and eggs. Now that's a weird pairing. That's the epitome of the rule. God damn. And the funny thing is, it might be good, but it won't look good at all.
No.
You won't know where the mac and cheese starts and the eggs end.
Looks like you need help. That's what that looks like.
Now I want to try mac and cheese and eggs.
Mac and cheese, eggs, like a little piece of steak, as they call it, which is actually more like about a quarter inch thin.
Like a fritter.
Like a hockey puck, kind of. Fucking some weird Caesar salad that's been laying around for hours under the heat light. And
garnish it with some squirts of ketchup.
Yeah. And a bunch of orange sections.
Oh, goddamn. There you go.
There's your Vegas meal right there.
There is the weirdest hangover fucking buffet meal you've ever heard of in your life.
So what I'm doing for tomorrow that's special, well, getting Chicago-centric. I actually really, really thought about for a moment of going ahead and ordering a couple of deep dish stuffed pizzas out of Chicago.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I mean,
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like it
was going to be like $80 for 2 pizzas.
2 pizzas of merit, I'm sure, though.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And that's why I gave it some serious thought. And I thought, well, shit, if I'm going to do that, I really enjoy Chicago-style Italian beef even more. Well, and that's going to be another, like, $80. And that would serve, like, 8 people. Surely, and I've done this before, surely I can probably go back to the drawing board, recalculate, reconfigure, and come off with a better Italian beef than I did the last time, and maybe get even closer to Big Al's kind of Italian beef in Chicago.
Yeah.
From the smell of what's going on in this kitchen right now, I'm pretty close.
Yeah. You got a pretty good little combination of homegrown herbs going on in there.
Yeah, no, I have. I brought in a lot of stuff from my herb garden: oregano, basil, some parsley, a few other things. But yeah, between that, a whole bundle of garlic and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shit going on in there, man. I can't wait for it.
And so then tonight, probably sometime after the podcast, sometime, I don't know, before the last fight of the night, I'm going to pull it out of there. I'm going to wrap it up really good, throw it in the fridge till tomorrow, and then I'm going to throw it in the freezer for a little bit, hour or two, and that way I can get my slicing on, because I don't have a deli slicer, so we have to rely on my knife skills, which are not bad.
Yeah.
And I will cut us off some really thin pieces of Italian beef, and then they what they call in Chicago the gravy. You'd call it au jus almost anywhere else in the world except Chicago. And we'll fire all that up, and yeah, we'll be good to go with that. And as a bonus, also putting together Italian sausage Chicago style for tomorrow.
Damn. Yeah, that's one thing that you make that I haven't been able to try yet. Is your homemade deep dish za.
Yeah, no, that's the other reason I kind of ruled it out too, is I didn't want to fire up my oven to 500 degrees for like an hour.
Yeah.
It is the middle of summer after all. That is something I'd probably look to do in probably October, November, something like that.
Fuck yeah.
And we will we'll make that action happen.
I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, that's kind of been my thing all week. Oh, and then on top of that, put together, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pints of giardiniera. That's a popular Chicago Italian style condiment.
Yeah, I just learned what that was yesterday.
Yeah, it's a melange of a lot of things, but it comes together really, really great.
Yeah,
and,
the cauliflower kind of threw me off.
Yeah, it's cauliflower, carrots, red peppers, olives, celery. On and on and on. It's a lot of things that go in there. And you pickle it kind of in a very short. It's kind of a short pickling,
Short pickle.
Turnaround. Short pickle. There are certain people who you are, but you put it in there with all of your herbs like your mustard seed and your not cardamom. It's coriander, garlic and red pepper flakes. A whole lot of shit, But it comes off. The hot mix is going to be obnoxiously hot. And I've got a mild mix in case that's not your bag.
I'll try that spicy shit. Damn, man, we should have a separate podcast just for food.
Well, yeah, only for UFC events.
Yeah, right. That's when we break out the culinary arts.
Yeah. Usually pay-per-views is when I try to get a little bit creative in the kitchen. But yeah, so that's got to be going on tomorrow. That's kind of where I drew the line. It's like, look, I'm going to do 2 entrees. There aren't really no such thing as sides in Chicago style cooking, because it's pretty much the entree and that's it. And
right.
We have 2 coming up tomorrow. Likely as not, a little small crowd, you, me, I don't know, a couple other people that come to mind. And that's about it.
Hell, gonna rock that shit proper tomorrow.
Yeah, I intend to be waddling through the house, and that's why I'm drinking today. That's why I went ahead and pulled the plug on the diet like an hour ago, is because I tend to get a little weak after I come off this diet. I'm like, no.
You're throwing a little bit of the heavy down there.
Yeah, so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go ahead, get some carbs going tonight, so that way my body acclimates. And tomorrow, hey, I'll be back to being a normal human boy. That's the goal anyway.
I was wondering if you were going to break that up. Well, hey, sounds like you've had a pretty good week.
That is my week. God, believe it or fucking not, more often than not, when it's a big thing, I cook all week.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, probably, I don't know about next week, probably not next week, but the week after that, and put together more of that stock, that broth for putting
Yeah,
together
we need
ramen.
to rock that shit.
That ramen, so yeah, that's another one that's like almost week long. So
Yeah, looking forward to that too.
how was your week?
I only have one story, and I really fought talking about it yesterday. But I think coming into the experience with me naturally is a far more enjoyable one. So it is late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. Slow night. As it usually is, especially right before a holiday where no one wants to come to Portales, New Mexico to watch fireworks or see family. They're probably already in an area where their fireworks are kick-ass and they're already around people they like.
Well, I
There's
guess
not a
that's
lot
true.
of traveling to be done.
Get a
to
lot of
this area.
transient workers here. So,
Yeah, workers, yes. People that come down to visit, no. So it wasn't that busy. I normally get the hotel ready for the next day of business around 3:30 in the morning, and process called the night audit, and I am the night auditor.
Basically, you're the breakfast man. That's
Yes.
that's
No, that's the second. I mean, I wear many labels. My business card is very full, but I'm gonna get paid like it is.
You're like the Johnny Burns of Motel 8, right? That's the
Yeah, nearly. Nearly. I'm more like an EB with a set of balls.
Oh, okay. Deadwood references. If you don't get them, well, you
probably shouldn't be listening.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
So I'm doing this process, getting the hotel ready for the next day, and this van drives up. I initially thought it was the newspaper delivery person. Usually shows up around that
Van
time.
is usually either a really poor band or a pederast.
Yeah. It's usually nothing very good. It was a red van, though, so I guess maybe it wasn't a white van. It was a red.
Probably not a pederast then.
And out waddles this large, probably 50-year-old woman. I don't know. Could have been 40 and just lived a really difficult life.
Well, usually if they're like tipping like 300 pounds, they add a lot of years to those.
I would put this bitch probably about 3 1/4. 3 1/4 and probably about 5'4".
Oof. Oh my God.
She comes into my lobby. That's right.
It's a Mama June.
Big. It looked like Mama Cass, basically.
Yeah.
Like a ginger Mama Cass.
Stay away from ham sandwich.
Inquires about a room for 2 nights.
I was going to fucking piss myself. You said a job.
Oh, we get a lot of inquiries about that late at night. So I looked there. I'm like, yeah, we got this for this much money. And she was normally, I don't know if it was either that or she had like a breathing problem. I thought maybe she was huffing at the price.
She's 3 1/4.
3 1/4 and short. Even bulldogs have problems.
Them
fucking
lungs,
breathing.
them lungs are finding a little bit of resistance.
So basically, after thinking about it to herself for about 5 seconds, she accepts. And the room is over $100 at 3:30 in the morning. You have it for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's not like you come in at a certain time. It's like, oh, yeah, you can check in at 5 a.m. and your ass can just stay there all day. No, that's not how it works. If it's before 11 o'clock or before the check-out time, your ass is checking out.
Yeah, you got to check in at noon. In most places, that's even only if they accept an early check-in.
We got 11.
Yeah.
11 check-out and 3 p.m. check-in.
Yeah, no, Albuquerque's the same way. 3 p.m. is your check-in time, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fucking firm.
You can beg, and maybe they'll be nice if it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon if they got some shit open, but generally it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So she wants the room. And as I always ask after they say they want the room, I say, all right, this is going to be cash or credit. Either way, I'm getting something from you in your ID.
Wow, you guys take cash?
Yeah.
I think I've asked that before, haven't I?
Yeah, we take cash,
Yeah.
which leads into how this tale begins. If you're paying cash, we require a deposit. $100.
Sure.
Either that or a credit card or debit card on file. So I'm timing up, and she asks, like, are the rooms smoking?
Oh, my God. Was she from 1950-something?
She was from some area. I said, my apologies, ma'am. Our hotel is non-smoking. We do have some areas outside where you can get that done. And you're like, oh, well, it wasn't that way in the state we were just in. Like, okay, so you're either coming from probably Texas is my guess.
Yeah.
Doubt to come from Colorado, and I highly doubt to come from Arizona.
Maybe, but have you overlooked Chihuahua?
No, this lady was whiter than me.
All right, that's a state though. But I mean,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
So I'm getting this vibe that it's like the really huge chick on the scooter on the Cleveland show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like that one that lays on the bed mattress in the fucking landfill area in Squidbillies that I showed you.
The Squidbillies, that one would hold up, yeah.
Yeah. It's basically this lady. So she was bummed out about that she couldn't just get her smoke on in the room. And I said, well, ma'am, I have a room available that's right near the door to outside where you can go get it done. And she was fine with that. She accepted. And then she was paying with cash. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to need an extra $100 from you or a credit card. Got to have that deposit down. And she fucking loses it.
Okay.
She's like, do you just not want me to stay at your hotel? I said, excuse me, ma'am. Says, well, it's like every time she used the word hurdle, that I have to jump over.
Which to her is obviously a terrifying thing.
Yeah, feat in itself. And I said, no, ma'am, this is all very standard. If you pay with a credit card, there is no deposit required because we have a credit card on file. So if you decide to steal, like, I don't know, our TV
or smoke in the fucking room.
Yeah, or smoke in the room, which was my main concern, we can recoup the cost of that. If you pay in cash and we don't get a deposit and you steal the TV or smoke in the room, we have no way of finding you and getting our money. It's just too much goddamn trouble at that.
We don't want to go tracking you down in deep Mississippi somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like, so that's just how it is. After about 5 minutes of berating me in the lobby for trying to swindle her and not wanting her business, she threatened to go get her husband out of the van.
Okay.
And, it's late for me. I just want to get this done, get breakfast started, get ready to get the fuck out of there.
Well, she's a roly-poly, and she was the most accessible to come inside. I can only imagine the husband.
Yeah. Well,
unless he was completely just a lazy fuck.
Well, I think that's the case because, long story short, she went outside and got in her van, and then they just drove off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I always like being called a motherfucker by a stranger.
There you go.
For 5 minutes, and a cheat, and a swindler,
That's
and a
okay.
shyster.
You got a hotel right down the road for those kind of people.
Yeah. I don't know if they're fucking open past 10, but they'll certainly rent by the hour for you.
Yeah. Ma'am, you might want to check out the Classic Economy American Inn, of which it's not the first three things, really, that you have going there.
Yeah, it's neither classic, it's not American, it's not even economy. It's barely an inn.
It does look like a goddamn murder scene in every horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, they've...
If I were a filmmaker, I would shoot a fucking murder scene at that hotel.
I had a brother that lived there for 3 years.
Good Lord.
And he lived in one of the rooms that had no windows. And I mean, it's just cinder blocks on the inside. It's not like there's no...
It's a prison where you can come and go.
Yeah. It's a cell where you have the keys. And he came out to the house one day with his gal. They were living together out there. But we hadn't seen him in like 6-7 months. Dude's skin was gray because there was no sunlight for him. He never left.
This little hotel living.
Yeah, that's all he did was hotel living. He never went anywhere to the point where his skin turned gray.
God damn it. Can you imagine his vitamin D count?
Oh, man, non-existent.
Yeah.
Can't really get that from Big Macs and pizzas.
He's going to get like weird rickets or something like that white people shouldn't get.
Oh, god damn. But yeah, outside of that...
God, even musicians, that dudes on the road that I know, man, that's like one of the first things they do. Yeah, they'll get their fucking room and throw their stuff in it, make sure nobody's going to steal their shit, and they go to the gym, they go for a jog, they do something outside because they're constantly inside, indoors at nightclubs. They're constantly indoors at fucking hotels. So like the one opportunity they have is usually in the middle of the afternoon, get out and get some sun. Because that shit it'll kill you if you don't get enough sun.
Yeah, look at Lane Staley. That dude wore sunglasses the last 4 years of his life.
He also had a heroin problem.
Well, yeah, that'll hasten it. But, some daylight might have helped him out, kept him around 4 more years. I think I'm going to have to put a notation down where the Mead Metal MMA part of our podcast starts now.
Oh. Well, I'm going to grab me another Budweiser Freedom Reserve and, in honor of the occasion.
Get me a chain shackled pint glass. Pint glass. Give me one of the big ones.
Oh, you want one of the tall boys? Huh.
Wish I knew how to talk. Yes, we'll go ahead and advance. I feel like we've talked about our mundane existences long enough. Mead, there is nothing going on still. Troublemakers chilling out.
Well, the fun times is, as you may have recalled from a couple of podcasts ago, is why I've been dragging my feet on worried about bottling Troublemaker. It's because I didn't want to bottle something I could not enjoy. Call me selfish, whatever. But now that I'm back to being on the carb wagon again, we'll probably be bottling this week. Come next Thursday is probably going to be the deal.
Yeah.
Now, depending on what the hell's going on. It might actually be a Friday. It's going to be Thursday or Friday, but we will get Troublemaker bottled because we need to be moving on with life. So.
Yes. Really, as every day passes, I'm more and more excited to try it out.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty damn grand. So we'll be doing that Thursday or Friday. So that means I got to get the bottle work underway and everything else, which is a lot of work. That's not necessarily the reason I've been holding off. I just wanted to be able to enjoy it as any other human would.
Well, Troublemaker is one of our staple bottles. It's Long Ships and it's Troublemaker.
Yeah,
those are our giants.
Yeah, that's a fact. Throwing Green Man is kind of a third, and the good news on that, by the way, on that front, is my green chilies are really in full bloom right now. So
awesome.
So
yeah, you said they had the little white things on them last Friday.
Yeah, no, they're rocking and rolling. These plants are getting pretty fucking huge.
Nice.
If we get some regular rain through here, it would be great. Get a bumper crop of that, and in which case then we're looking at putting together some Green Man for Christmas. In which case then we'd need to get our friend Bobby, well, either Bobby or Ruben, one of the two, to get us kind of some iconography for a label for December.
Nice. God, man. I always look forward to the returns of our staples because I agree. I think we have three.
Yeah,
we have the Troublemaker, we have Long Ships, and we have Green Man.
Distant third's Green Man, but it's there.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't even call it a distant third. Distant maybe because it's seasonal.
Right.
It's not something we can.
Well, we usually put it out when people are really, really enjoying green chili and they're all falling all over themselves, getting all things green chili related.
Yeah.
Much as fat white women with minivans do on pumpkin spice around
October. It is the pumpkin spice of the Southwest.
But I do think though, if we can kind of rebrand it and really work it in for December, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's one of my unsung heroes. That and Scarborough, that one bottle we tried that we had held on to for about 6 months, or you held on to it. I don't hold on to bottles.
Right.
God, after that thing had aged a little bit, it was what our vision was.
Yeah. Now the thing is, it also did take out a lot of the flavors we kind of thought would be present, and
yeah, it found the best balance I think we could have had with a herbal-based mead.
I mean, because that's the whole thing, and people are like, oh, I get it. Scarborough Fair, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Yeah, genius. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, very tongue-in-cheek.
But, a lot of those flavors kind of do get backgrounded by the mead eventually.
Yeah, that or the sage. The sage was pretty goddamn powerful.
Sage can overtake a lot of things. You got to be real careful with that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sage was the big one. Sage and rosemary, those two. Thyme and parsley are kind of, those tend to get a little relegated.
Yeah.
On the other two.
Fall in line. But that's really it on mead.
Yeah.
Shit.
Metal, not a lot. 1968. Now this is a band that kind of, from what I can understand, is that this is not exactly their first release. It's the one we walked into on the show this week, but they not a lot of success. Not a lot of success. They have focused or refocused, I guess, some of their talents into. They know what they are now. I would say that probably Ballads of the Godless is it's a good release for the week. So you might want to check that one out. Brandon's a huge fan of Devin Townsend. We don't usually bring up a lot of live records, but there is one you definitely want to check out this week.
Yeah. It's Devin Townsend. It's the last Devin Townsend project-based album we'll be getting.
Well, here's the interesting thing: is because why is that? Why are they breaking up? Why is it? Is it a John and Yoko thing going on? Is it a fucking like somebody blew their head off kind of a thing? Kurt Cobain kind of a breakup? What's going on?
Well, initially it seemed like because Devin Townsend likes to explore new shit.
Sure.
And he eventually sheds that skin and begins anew. But what we learned from the latest his album Transcendence, with the release of that album and the tour that came out, and they toured a lot, like a huge, I think they toured over a year. Devin Townsend said they barely broke even, which is why they had to break the band up. Well, I mean, that's a tough one, because it really was like this was how Tobias Forge views Ghost. Only everyone in the band knew it. This is Devin Townsend's puppy.
Right.
This last album, Transcendence, that was the first time he actually let the project write some songs, which should have been a big red flag to be like, this shit might be fucking wrapping up, because usually it's all Devin Townsend, his content all the time.
So he's either hiring really great musicians that cost a lot of coin, or he's overpaying musicians that don't. But
I think it's former.
Yeah, I think you're right, which should be a lesson to any of you kids listening that just want to put a band together. Always go with the shittiest musicians you can find.
Because they will get better. I guarantee you Lars Ulrich wasn't that great in 1981. But he released it's Ocean Machine, his first solo album after leaving. Well, he didn't leave Strapping Young Lad. It was while he was still in it. But it was his first Devin Townsend branded album, Ocean Machine. Played in its entirety with an orchestra, and then a second disc of by request stuff the fans wanted with said orchestra.
Well, it's interesting because they're playing like at an ancient Roman amphitheater.
Yeah, in Plovdiv. There it is.
Yeah, not even sure where the hell that's even at. I'd have to look it up, but that's as a history nerd, I think that's kind of impressive that, you know, if you're playing at some kind of an ancient thing. I mean, it was entertaining folks 2,000 years ago. Hey, guess what? Entertaining folks.
Yeah, it's like it's like truly it's a Bulgaria.
Okay.
But yeah, that came out. I have to admit though, I'm a little bummed out so far. I've only heard one song, and you found it for me, Deadhead, because that was when I saw that was on the by request part. I just had to hear it. It's one of my favorite Townsend songs. The orchestra kind of gets lost in the mix. Townsend is just too goddamn powerful to just be catching orchestra on like space mics, you know?
Yeah. Do you want me to put in a blast real quick?
Yeah, by all means.
10 seconds?
Cue it up.
What are we allowed? 10, 12 seconds?
As long as we're not just letting it play. If we're talking over it, I think we can play as long as we want.
Here's a blast.
The robots won't know.
Right? All right. Let me run that volume up. Devin Townsend Project. Ocean Machine.
Yeah. See, it gets kind of muddy. I don't know if that's the point or not.
More?
Yeah, fucking let it play a little bit.
All right. Well, I just don't want to get us in trouble. So.
Well, that's why I'm like talking periodically.
Right.
I mean, it's a hell of a jam.
See, and I'm all right with that because it's got some really it's got a lot of elements I like, and those elements generally are a real sludgy, real doom, project kind of related stuff.
Yeah.
I like to hear that, and it's rare for Devin Townsend to really allow me that. He puts together a lot of really technical, you could call it proggy.
Absolutely.
Kind of stuff. So I don't get that weird, crazy, jammy kind of droning, kind of doom metal kind of a thing. But apparently, off of that, yes, he does.
You would really like his Accelerated Evolution album.
Yeah,
I think you'd really dig that. It's more of that.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what I don't want to have to. I want to be able to appreciate what's there without having to go really. I don't know. I don't know if my mind doesn't work fast enough as it used to when I was younger. I don't know if because I'm trying to cover so many bases of what the fuck's going on with
trying to break it down
with the rhythm section. What's going on with the vocal portion, because that's an instrument in and of itself, along with what's going on with the guitars and melodic. Trying to cover all of that. If it's slowed down, it's easier for me to keep up with it. So I don't.
Right.
Maybe I was an old man at the age of 18 or 20, but I'm still kind of in that same boat. If it's grindcore or anything like that, it's too much. Too much.
Right. The speed kills.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even out on probably half of Anthrax's shit. You know.
Yeah. Probably like really late 80s, early 90s Anthrax would be your bag.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I'm the Man and shit like that.
But anyway, so that's another one that's released today. Those are the only two I really fucking even care about. Is there anything you got going on?
A few small things. Iron Maiden's getting sued again.
Ah, well. Again.
Yeah. Apparently, this one they're being sued by Dennis Wilcock.
I don't know who Dennis Wilcock is.
He was a pre-Dickinson singer.
God, it must have been a short amount of time because Paul Di'Anno is the only guy I could think of before Dickinson.
Let me see when he was in the band.
Dennis Wilcock.
I mean, it could, like I said, it couldn't be, but he's asking for.
You sure that's not a typo? It might be Will Penis.
Will Dick. Let me see here. Fucking have to search for Dennis Wilcock.
Yeah. And you're getting Windows 10 saying, no, sir, no.
Well, yeah, apparently Dennis Wilcock does not pop up in their Wikipedia page.
No.
So I'm not sure how long he's in there or not. Probably been in it for a week.
Dude probably tried out. Now he's wanting fucking money.
But he is suing for lyrical compensation for Prowler, Charlotte the Harlot, Phantom of the Opera, and the song Iron Maiden.
Well, that's back in the Paul Di'Anno days. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Wilcock further alleges he co-wrote the lyrics to Prodigal Son with Harris and was never properly credited for his role. Wants £2 million. God
damn. And it's only 2018, so thankfully he's been really prompt on trying to get his recompense here.
Yeah. And leading into another story, seeing as how Iron Maiden just played a show in Stockholm with Killswitch Engage, made about $3 million. I don't think they'll be all right. Even if the lawsuit is lost, they'll be okay.
Yeah, but man, they're
they make bank.
They do, but goddamn, their production is still not cheap. Their stage stuff they do.
That was gross sales.
Yeah, they bring out all the big shit still. It's not cheap. Their shows. Okay, if they made $3 million on like a 3-stop tour, guarantee you it cost them $2 million in order to put those shows on.
Yeah. Well, I'll lead into two happier things that we'll have to check out after the show. Trivium, a band I really enjoy.
Right.
Matt Heafy, frontman, guitar player, apparently covered Africa by Toto.
Wow. Okay.
By himself, so it's probably acoustic. So it might actually be really good.
Yeah, maybe.
And that might be more just for the kitsch. Just be like, oh, he's fucking playing Toto. It's like, goddamn, it's amazing.
Kind of like us with that Cure song.
Yeah, like totally something outside of our wheelhouse,
right.
But what I think is even cooler, it's another cover-based news bit. Ann Wilson from Heart has covered Audioslave's "I Am the Highway." Really want to listen to that. I love Ann Wilson's voice.
Yeah,
she's a belter.
Yeah. And if you're talking about like a girthy thing, I think she dropped that, but
she had a goiter?
Girthy.
Girthy.
Girthy, yeah.
Hell, I think her getting her weight up later in her life has made her voice more powerful.
Yeah.
She has not lost a step.
Right.
And she can do powerful shit.
Yeah, I was always a bigger Nancy fan, but
oh well, you're a guitar player.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Plain and simple, cut and dry.
See, I like Ann Wilson because I do a little bit of both, just like Ann Wilson. Of course, I've always had a problem playing guitar and singing at the same time. I've gotten better. I have gotten better since we've started hanging out.
Right.
But it's not something I'd like to do because it's weird. I want to strum the guitar in cadence with my singing. So if like I'm singing something really rapid fire, I want to go rapid fire on the guitar. I can't distinguish the two.
Yeah.
I think it's a brain thing.
Yeah, it kind of is. You have to accept a simple 4/4 when you're like playing some easy shit like that and singing along to it.
Like blues, I could do that shit.
Right. Well, because it doesn't get terribly off base, at least like in basic blues, it doesn't get terribly off base on that.
Yeah, basically. Outside of that, there's no big birthdays this week. Fucking, it's 50 Cent's birthday. There's that. Curtis Jackson. It's a Christian name.
Oh, yeah. He got shot a bunch of times, and then he's bitched about it to everybody that would listen.
And apparently a lot of people listened at first. But
the interesting thing is that we had a president that got shot and still delivered a speech, and that was Teddy Roosevelt. So you tell me, who's the bigger guy with the bigger balls?
Sounds like an epic rap battle.
Yeah, Teddy Wilson against 50 Cent. One whines a little bit, one does.
Fucking A. Well, man, that's all I got.
Cool. Well, go ahead and feel free to give us a thumbs down this week. And,
that's right. Hey, no, fuck that, man. I think the more we open our hearts up to these people, the more they accept us for who we are.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about UFC 226 because this is the thing that's been pissing both of us off. And the reason why you should never make plans to go to International Fight Week.
Yeah. And by the way, a quick update on because there is a card going on right now, the Ultimate Fighter
by
finale.
the time people listen to this,
oh no, just let you know, we're not missing nothing. The last two fights have ended by a majority decision.
Oh,
apparently,
okay.
two judges one judge saw both fights as draws.
Bruce Leroy already fight, or he's still
no fucking A. He's getting big money. He's fighting on the main card from the Palms.
All right, well, let's get to 226 because nobody gives two fucks about the Ultimate Fighter finale. So,
hey, don't hate. Coming
up tomorrow, and that's at the T-Mobile Arena. 226, big card.
Well,
there's no reason to dwell.
I guess
there's no reason to dwell on a lot of the other stuff. We can go through it, but I don't want to spend a fucking bunch of time analyzing shit.
Well, there's not a lot going on. I mean,
what was going to happen is that, frankly, since Anthony Rumble Johnson retired, I haven't been a fan of a fighter. I've liked some fighters, you know. I mean, I even liked some Brazilian fighters, for that matter. But I haven't been a fan of one. I'm a fan of Brian T. City Ortega.
Well, you'll be watching the fights as a fan as well this weekend.
Because Max Holloway, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this guy. 3 different title defenses in a row. His last fight was against Jose Aldo. Beat him clean, fair and square, fine, looked
twice.
Great.
Beat him twice.
But the problem is, can't seem to keep out of medical difficulty. The promotion won't say it's because of weight cut-related issues, because I think the promotion knows there's going to be a lawsuit coming out at some point by some fighter or some fighter's family at some point.
Well, they got to make the choice at what weight they want to be at.
Well, but the promotion has to be able to shepherd these people into like, look, you can't make that weight. You have to move.
They do. They give them the opportunity, and then when it clearly shows they can't do it, like via Johnny Hendricks, why he's not fighting at welterweight anymore.
Or fighting
in general, yeah. They'll give them the chance, which I think you have to do that. And if they can make the weight cut in a healthy way and still show up for fight night and get the job done, let them fight at that weight. You got to give them the chance.
But I don't think Max Holloway can make 145.
No, I mean, even if you're using 3 strikes rule here, that's 3.
You know, I think you do.
Two times he basically was pulled out. The Khabib fill-in, it was doctors who pulled him out. So, but it's still, they pulled him out for a reason. It's all been health-related.
Well, no, the Khabib thing was actually his countryman. That was Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, no, remember, Holloway was going to fill in.
Oh, yeah, he was going to move up to 155.
Yeah, he was going to fill in for that title fight, and then doctors pulled him because of the weight cut.
Yeah, to 155.
Yeah, even that. Like, he was having problems just because it was short notice.
I don't think the guy can make 145. I don't even know if the guy can make 155 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Look, this promotion didn't bat an eye at taking a belt away from fucking Conor McGregor. They shouldn't bat an eye at taking a belt away from Max Holloway.
Yeah, instead of getting an interim title going.
And I don't have a problem with Max Holloway. Trust me, I don't have a problem with the guy.
No way.
I think he's great. I actually think he's a great fighter. I want to see him at 155. I don't want to see him at 145.
No, because
you know who I want to see at 145? I want to see Brian Ortega at 145.
Yeah, Brian Ortega. I mean, we were given he was given the options rather of Jeremy Stevens, and
but Jeremy Stevens is a different fighter, man.
But even offered him Frankie Edgar. I thought maybe he would take a Frankie Edgar fight, but Frankie Edgar's people, like Frankie was into it, but apparently his family wasn't.
Yeah. I don't think you can go through a 5 or 6 week camp and prepare for one guy and then have the tables turned on you, as Max Holloway always does.
Yeah.
And then have to turn around and change your entire game in the space of 2 or 3 days. That's not fair to Brian Ortega.
Oh, not at all. No, this guy he knocked out Frankie Edgar. He deserves a title shot.
Sure.
Why squander that just because Max Holloway's body is slowly shutting down?
That's and that's the problem. Max Holloway's trying to keep it 145, and he can't do it. They need to have somebody medically involved say, look, you are not going to make 145 again.
UFC will make that decision for
I
him.
don't even want you to make 155, but God damn it, that's the way the promotion goes. That's the next weight class up.
Yeah.
Have fun at lightweight.
Get the belt off Holloway and have a Brian Ortega, Jeremy Stevens title fight.
I think that's fair.
I think that would be just as good. Just as good.
I think Jeremy Stevens might have a real fucking bad night.
Yeah, but dude's on a roll, man. Ever since Conor McGregor who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
He's been on a tear.
His striking is really, really dangerous, but God, he doesn't have the tools that Brian Ortega does.
Yeah, that's why Ortega's such a scary dude. So maybe we'll see that fight down the road. We certainly won't be seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer, and the curse we were talking about earlier.
All right,
rears its ugly fucking head.
And there will be another. Look, trust me, it's only Friday night. There will be another fight scratched before tomorrow.
Yeah.
I bet you.
Yeah, Nunes Shevchenko got fucking scrapped day off.
We almost.
I heard about that from you in Vegas.
Yeah.
I woke up spin-headed drunk, looked at my phone, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we went to the Johnson Gaethje fights.
Yeah, but and Cormier almost injured himself, tripping over a goddamn speaker.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Speaker wire, something like that, walking off a stage because he's a dummy and doesn't know how to walk.
Do you not watch where the fuck you're going? You walked over there. Can you not walk back?
And apparently it was the speaker's fault because that's what we do as grown-ass, mature men.
Cormier would have been I think he's pretty 50-50 with fans right now. There's a sect that hates him and a sect that loves him.
Oh, I'd be in the former, sir.
Yeah, I fluctuate. I'll admit. When it gets closer to fight time, I hate him. But in the middle when he's working, I kind of like him. I think he has a good ear or good brain for analysis. He's not an asshole when he's on TV like Michael Bisping is.
That's true.
The fighter I just don't dig. But I don't know. We might be seeing the last of Daniel Cormier tomorrow night.
Well, I'm hoping. Let's get to that momentarily. We have some early prelims. Now, here's one great thing about International Fight Week and UFC 226 in general is that we have, or actually I meant that in reverse. We actually have some really, really good fights on the early pass or Fight Pass prelims.
The early pass.
The Fight Pass prelims, the early prelims, on the prelims and on the main card. Let's run through it quick because why linger?
Yeah. For tomorrow, you got Lando Venata on the card again. Fighting Drakkar Klose.
I like Venata on that one.
I do too. A lot of shit talking at the weigh-ins.
Oh, really? Okay.
Drummed up some interest. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Curtis Millender fighting Max Griffin at welterweight.
I like Millender because we saw him in Austin. I'm on that guy's train until I shouldn't be anymore.
Yep.
He's like an undersized John Jones. He hates that. He hates being called that because he's a black man with really long, skinny arms.
With reach. Yeah.
But that's the guy.
Right. Rafael, I agree, by the way. Taking Millender in that fight. Rafael and Sunsao fighting Rob Font. I'm going Brazilian on this one.
I'm going to go with Sunsao. Now, nothing against Rob Font. That guy has not impressed me in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Rafael Asunciao has actually still been pretty. I thought he was kind of on a decline. He came back. He's won a couple in a row.
And I tend to like. Yeah, this is a Brazilian fighter I can get behind. Maybe not to the point of like a Barbosa.
Yeah, no, Edson Barbosa's like that guy's
or
like,
Jacare,
yeah.
but I like him.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, I like him in that fight. I like him in the finish too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And your main
that
event,
was at 125. Yeah,
that's at 135 bantamweight.
135. Okay.
And your main event for the prelims, Uriah Hall, who hasn't really lived up to the hype.
That guy,
He's so hot and cold, man.
As soon as the hype train came through, that guy suddenly went really cold.
Yeah. Fighting a guy who doesn't look like a 185er, Paulo Costa. Dude looks like he is, on the gas for days.
Wow,
Saw him
really?
at the weigh-ins. Oh, my God. This guy's humongous. He looks like a light. I would
205.
I would call him heavyweight. I'd like, this guy has to walk
shit.
around 215.
Well, Uriah Hall's kind of got a make or break moment. I think he'll probably come through because he does tend to do really well on pay-per-views, which is weird. But
dude's making a living with those legs, man.
Yeah.
He's those are his highlights. When he beat Gegard with a spinning liver kick.
Yeah. Let's get to the prelims.
All right. A name, I don't know. Gokhan Saki fighting Khalil Roundtree at light heavyweight, opening up the pay-per-view.
Got Khalil on that one.
I got Saki on this one.
Do you?
Yeah. I think he's a little bit awkward, probably personally.
Yeah. Well, I like Khalil's stand-up game. So if he can keep it on the feet, throw some hard rights, throw some combinations, kind of get a little bit of clinch game going.
Yeah.
I kind of like his game.
Because let's see, Saki was he's a kickboxer.
Yeah.
And let's see here. I'm pulling up his.
See, we're already.
Damn! Yeah, this is his third fight. Third fight in MMA. Second fight in the UFC. God, that's quite a tall order. Fucking throwing up Roundtree at you for your third fight. I just think he's gonna fucking send his dome into the fucking stands.
Yeah, probably not, but we'll see.
Don't doubt me. And after that, we have a fight at catchweight because Michael Chiesa doesn't know how to diet.
Well,
demands respect from other fighters. Like, hey, man, respect this sport. Do your job. Motherfucker can't make weight.
Well, he got a little scared by a hand truck getting thrown at the bus he was in.
Oh, so the extra cheeseburger, it's Conor McGregor's fault he had to eat a few more cheeseburgers and drums of ice cream.
I wouldn't doubt that's where he puts it. Who's he fighting?
Mr. Wheaties Box himself, Anthony Pettis. Lightweight fight. Well, catchweight fight. Pettis made weight.
Man,
Do you think this is when Pettis gets that win that kind of starts round 2 of his career?
I do, only because of the fact that Chiesa's a fucking very one-dimensional guy. His
on the ground,
stand-up looks goofy as hell.
Yeah.
If he can get that one to the ground, man, suddenly I like his chances a lot better. But I think Anthony Pettis is smart enough. I think he's a smart enough cat to keep that from happening.
Just tag him. I think
Pettis is going to tag him from distance all day long.
Yeah, I got Pettis by a decision. I don't see a finish to this.
I don't think a finish, but man, he's definitely going to win that.
Yeah, tag him for 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I think Chiesa's going to get embarrassed again. That'll be 2 losses in a row. He'll start looking at having a fight on fight nights.
Yeah, I mean, I think this fight was supposed to be on Fight Pass, but when the Holloway fight got pulled, they got bumped up.
Yeah. Well,
so hell, it's a golden opportunity for both of them to make a little extra cheddar and make a name. I mean, people know Pettis, but God damn.
But I will say, if Chiesa can get a hold of him and that thing goes to the ground, I suddenly don't like Pettis' chances.
Unless Pettis gets his back. Apparently, if you get Michael Chiesa's back, you can do whatever you want to.
Apparently. And
Kevin Lee proved that.
And everybody will go ahead and sign off on that immediately.
All right, so we both got Pettis in that by decision. Welterweight fight. Really looking forward to this one. Paul Felder fighting Platinum Mike Perry.
Man, Mike Perry's really, really making a big resounding kind of a make it as a name known here. Originally, Cowboy Cerrone was going to fight in this one, right? Wasn't it?
No, it was Felder. It got Felder had asked to fight in the Nurmagomedov fight, but they went with Iaquinta for some reason, so they gave him this. And, pardon me, He was supposed to fight Yancy Majeros.
Okay. Well,
but he pulled out because he fucked up his rib.
Right. Well,
but he's lost his last 2.
Who's that?
Mike
Felder?
Perry.
Oh, Mike Perry, yeah. See, that's why I like Paul Felder. This guy's been on a tear.
Yeah.
Everybody thought his career was kind of done, like probably, in the last couple of years?
Well, he was doing a lot of Fox Sports work.
A lot. It looked like he was prepping for his end-of-career shit. This guy's been nothing but gold in here lately. I like Paul Felder.
Yeah.
And a finish, by the way.
He fought 3 times in 2017, 2 performances of the night.
Yeah.
He won all 3. And one of those names is Charles Oliveira. KO, elbow fucking KO in the second round. Lost to Trinaldo.
Oh, I know who I was thinking of. Paul Felder's working into this one because James Vick was supposed to fight him. And James Vick ended up taking a better opportunity.
Yeah, that fight was supposed to happen at Fight Night 133 next week.
Yeah. But why not go ahead and load up this card?
A lot of shuffling, but I really like Felder's chances. I like him in a finish. He's going to use those fists.
No. Felder's going to probably finish this thing probably second round.
Yeah, I like second round finish for Paul Felder. Then you get to your new co-main event of the evening, which this is going to be, this is where your knockout of the night's going to go. Francis Ngannou fighting Derek Lewis. Holy fucking shit!
I think if Derek can keep that crazy fucking uppercut from coming through that really put the lights out on Alistair Overeem, I like Derek Lewis's chances. I think it's obviously 2 strikers. This goddamn thing is not going to the
Derek
ground.
Lewis is a plus 350 in Vegas.
That'd
be one fight where I would dump $100 on.
Yeah, I like Nagano's fucking punching. I really do. But I think Derek Lewis is a veteran. He's a crafty vet.
It all depends on what he learned from the Stipe fight. You know.
Oh, with Nagano? Yeah.
Because, this isn't a 5-round fight, so he didn't prepare for one.
Well,
he doesn't prepare for a 5-round fight when he has it.
He doesn't have to worry about getting taken down, so you immediately remove half of his worries.
Well, if Derek Lewis takes him down, man, that's where he does most of his damage is on the ground.
That is true. But, Derek Lewis doesn't shoot for takedowns, though.
No.
If he
rattles you, and then
he'll get the takedowns as they present themselves.
Yeah, and it's usually after he's rocked you with a shot.
Yeah.
Like he did at Tabura in Austin.
Right.
I'm going Derek Lewis first round knockout.
Wow, so we have heavyweight, Co and Maine?
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't know.
It's the night of the fatties.
I don't know when the last time that happened, but okay.
Yeah, it's a big boy card. We got 3 fights above 205 on this one.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Derek Lewis, first round finish.
I got Derek Lewis with a 4th round finish.
Well, this is co-main. It only goes 3.
Oh, it's not a title, though.
Yeah. Heavyweight title is going to be after this.
But okay. I thought co-main also usually got a championship.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No way. Co-main's still 3.
Well, I would say Derek Lewis late then.
I understand why you say that because usually our co-main events have been title fights lately.
Right. Yeah. Derek Lewis late third.
Just like he did Tabura.
Yeah.
3rd round finish.
I think so.
I think his tank will stand up longer than Ngannou's does.
I think it does. Ngannou's got too much muscle mass.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Trying to feed oxygen to those muscles, good luck.
And now let's take a look at the main event of the evening. Stipe Miocic. Oh, goddamn, I might have just slobbered all over that one. Stipe Miocic fighting Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight belt in what is billed as a legitimate super fight, and I agree.
Yeah, well, you got a guy that holds strap at 205, the guy that holds strap 265. They're both fighting each other.
Yeah, but I don't think that necessarily makes it a super fight just because they both are champs.
I think it immediately does. I think it immediately does.
Well, no. Okay. Here's what I think. I think because both these guys have defended their belts multiple times, that's what makes it a super fight. They are dominant champions in their divisions. We got McGregor and Alvarez. McGregor, that featherweight title was still warm.
Yeah.
You know?
And he'd never had one title defense.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really billed as a super fight because it wasn't. This is because of how dominant these champions have been in their divisions. You got 4 title defenses for Cormier. You got a record 3 for Stipe. They're dominant.
Well, look, even if I didn't like DC, I do. That's the case. Even if I did like DC, the thing is the promotion doesn't like Stipe Miocic. So I'm always going to gravitate toward the guy that the promotion doesn't like.
Yeah.
I got Stipe. I really think that Daniel Cormier hadn't met heavy hands like this shit since
It's been a long time
since he fought in the heavyweight division.
Because when he first got here, he fought Roy. He fought Roy and somebody else. The Roy Nelson fight's the one I recall the most.
Yeah.
He fought Josh Barnett in Strikeforce.
Yeah.
But he's still, he picked up Josh Barnett and fucking just threw him 360 onto the ground.
But do you think that Stipe is going to have that allow
that
kind of movement?
I actually think the wrestling cancels out in this. I think Stipe's defense is going to be enough to get him out of anything, leaving it to be on the feet.
I think he's going to crack DC. I think he is. And I think that might very well be I think it'll be the death knell of his career.
Well, the reason people say Cormier is going to win because it's always going to be about pressure.
Sure.
Well, Fabricio tried to pressure Stipe as well, and he went to sleep in the first round.
Yeah, it doesn't pay off.
Yeah. Accuracy beats power every goddamn time.
And Stipe still got power. That dude's throwing
fuck yeah.
I mean, he doesn't max out around 265, but the dude pops in 245, 250. He
came in at 242, and Cormier came in at 246. Cormier weighs more.
Well, it's fine. But
no, dude. I'll show you a picture after the podcast. Cormier just looks like a fat kid.
Well, he is. We've always made fun of him.
But when you compare him to weigh-in light heavyweight weigh-in day Cormier, it's night and day, man. Well, dude had rolls on his back.
Yeah. But I think that Stipe has got. He doesn't have just accuracy, but god damn, he's got power.
Yeah,
he's got
good
power.
Movement.
He's got really elusive power that you think that he's just tagging him a little bit. Yeah, he's throwing straight jabs that are really rattling the brain.
Do you think coming in a heavyweight will affect Cormier's tank at all? Going 5 rounds?
I don't know. It depends on the fight that's presented. Because if Cormier has to keep this thing standing, he's going to wear out a lot faster. I think the guy has got certain muscle memory. I think he's got certain ability to be able to operate without burning himself out too bad if he's on top.
Right.
So I think it depends on the fight that's presented.
I think we're going to see 25 minutes on the feet. We'll see a few takedown attempts, but I think they're going to be stuck.
I think if that's the case, I think it's going to be Stipe's fight.
Cormier can strike because I know we're both not huge fans of Cormier the person, but Cormier the fighter, fucking you respect that. Dude's top-notch wrestler. I just don't think he's going to be able to get in there. I go back to the Gustafsson fight. That was light heavyweight where he was at a severe disadvantage in reach.
Right.
And it showed. Yeah. I'm like people.
And even more so now, I don't even know what that reach disadvantage is. It's got to be
8 inches. 5 inches in the height and 8 inches in the reach.
I'm shocked it's not more. But
yeah, well, like you pulled up on the UFC, the video game. It's painfully noticeable.
Yeah.
So who do you got?
Well, I'm always wrong, so I'm going to go DC by decision in the 5th.
Oh, you dirty bastard!
So that way I can be wrong.
I
really like Stipe by the 3rd, 4th round. I think he's going to crack him.
I agree. I got Stipe by knockout in the 4th. Given Cormier's fight IQ is so goddamn high, he can survive unless he's fighting John Jones, and it just all goes out the window.
Yeah,
I think he'll make it until the championship rounds, but I see him going to sleep with a fist.
Yeah,
and then I see him putting that belt down on the mat, on the canvas, and fucking calling it good.
Yeah, well, because the fact is he'll never beat John Jones, and he knows this. And apparently he's called out both Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he wants his
Jones,
last 2 fights. He's already planning about winning this belt. He wants his last 2 fights to be at heavyweight and fighting Brock and fighting John. I like the John Jones fight. In a fantasy world, it'd be amazing. But hey, Conor fought Floyd Mayweather, so shit,
sure.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. All right, well, folks, that's it. We got to wrap up. There's still some fights going on, and my bladder, now that I'm back to drinking beer again, is letting me know.
I was going to say, I bet that ran right through you.
Yeah, pretty much. So what we're going to do is wrap some things up. We go to the picks as far as what you're drinking. Mine, obviously, is Budweiser Freedom Reserve, which is $8 a 6. I'm not really impressed with that, but
damn, $2 more and you get a 12-pack of Tall Boys.
I know.
I agree, though. It's good. It was a little metallic for that first taste, but after drinking it, it kind of goes away.
Yeah.
It's nice.
As far as picks go, music-wise, oddly enough, I don't even know if we ever even really talked about this one too much. Paul Bear's little bonus track Dropout that they'd done for...
when Adult Swim released it? Yeah, we talked about that while I was in Wyoming.
And Leander.
In Leander.
Yeah.
Makes it sound like I was in a pretty lady.
Yeah, well, man, who knows? Yeah, so that's going to be my music pick this time around.
My pick is going to be fucking Ocean Machine in its entirety with an orchestra backing.
Yeah, you might want to check that one out. But folks, definitely check out 1968 Ballads of the Godless. That's my endorsement this week.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
right.
I dug. And MMA, history will not be made. Stipe will continue his reign over the heavyweight division, and Cormier will say goodbye.
My pick is Paul Felder by a weird, phenomenal finish, like in the opening 30 seconds of his fight, and gets fight of the night.
Gingers can get it done, man.
Or performance of the night, yeah.
Gingers can get it done.
Yeah. All right.
Goddamn, International Fight Week is here. Let's get out of here and go watch some fucking fights.
That's what we're going to do. Paul Bear on the way out. Folks, we will catch you 1 week from today.
I love most of you.
Some of you.
A few of you.
Couple.
I hate all of you.
I hate fucking every one of you.
Enjoy, bitches.